Hi there. Today we're going to start with a review period. This is on page number 80, and this is the introduction. Beginning with today, we will have a series of review periods. Each of them will cover 5 of the ideas already presented, starting with the first and ending with the 50th. So far we have had 50 lessons. There will be a few short comments after each of the ideas which you should consider in your review. In the practice periods, the exercises should be done as followed. Paragraph 2. Begin the day by reading the 5 ideas with the comments included. Thereafter, it is not necessary to follow any particular order in considering them, though each one should be practiced at least once. Devote 2 minutes or more to each practice period, thinking about the idea and the related comments after reading them over. Do this as often as possible during the day. If any one of the 5 ideas appeal to you more than the others, concentrate on that one. At the end of the day, however, be sure to review all of them once more. So you definitely want to concentrate on the one that calls to you, because that's the one that's beginning to germinate inside of you. But make sure that you review all of them. Don't leave any one out, because those are seeds that are being planted that will blossom later on. Paragraph 3. It is not necessary to cover the comments that follow each idea either literally or thoroughly in the practice periods. Try rather to emphasize the central point and think about it as part of your review of the idea to which it relates. After you have read the idea and the related comments, the exercises should be done with your eyes closed and when you are alone in a quiet place, if possible. Paragraph 4. This is emphasized for practice periods at your stage of learning. Sentence number 2. It will be necessary, however, that you learn to require no special settings in which to apply what you have learned. You will need your learning most in situations that appear to be upsetting, rather than in those that already seem to be calm and quiet. The purpose of your learning is to enable you to bring the quiet with you and to heal distress and turmoil. This is not done by avoiding them and seeking a haven of isolation for yourself. So it's really important that when things get activated, every irritation is an invitation for you to see that your ego has a motivation, and the Course in Miracles is training your mind to shift and lift out of the density of the ego into the higher frequency of love. So when you have that irritation, that's the moment to invite these lessons to begin to work in your life, because that's how you're going to see that they work. That's how you're going to feel the efficacy of putting the tool into use and having that shift of perception that lifts your vibration to the realm of love, of peace, at the very least of neutral, which always lifts you up from anxiety and fear and disconnection. Paragraph 5. You will yet learn that peace is part of you and requires only that you be there to embrace any situation in which you are. What this means is that the peaceful part of you is beginning to register with you. You're beginning to realize through these lessons that there is a peaceful essence in you, which is the presence of God in you. Your ability to deal with an irritation is you calling forth the peace that is already in you. And through the practice of calling forth your peace, you see that you have the ability to call it, that you have the ability to access it, that you have the ability to shift yourself from aggravation and irritation into a peaceful state of beingness that can be with whatever is happening. This will allow you to see that you no longer need to react, that you can actually respond to everything that is happening. Everything from the peaceful place inside of you that can observe it as something that you have projected. So we are being called to recognize the powerful state inside of us can be called at will. So let me read this again. Paragraph 5. You will yet learn that peace is part of you and requires only that you be there to embrace any situation in which you are. And finally, you will learn that there is no limit to where you are, so that your peace is everywhere as you are. There is no limit to where you are, which means you're eternal. You are not confined by time or space. You don't end where your body ends. You can be in the midst of a situation right now, reading about something, some turmoil, in, let's say in Africa, and you live in the United States now. You can be in Africa reading about something there right now and bring the peace that you are to it, so that you can see the situation from a place of peace and lift the vibration for the entire continent, the entire planet, the entire galaxy, the entire universe. When you deliberately acknowledge the peace that is in you, instead of letting your ego take you to the problems or the fearful things that make you want to run away and shrink. So this is beautiful. I'm going to read this again. And finally, you will learn that there is no limit to where you are, my eternal beings, friends of mine, brothers and sisters that we are, so that your peace is everywhere as you are. You are the presence of peace. That's what we're remembering. We're just removing the obstacles to knowing that peace. Paragraph 6, you will note that for review purposes, some of the ideas are not given in quite their original form. So get comfortable that some of the wording is going to change slightly, because who you are today is different than who you were 50 lessons ago. So there's an assumption that your consciousness has expanded. Some of these truths have been received. So now Jesus is going to take the liberty to tweak things and massage them a little bit differently, all for a purpose, which is to implement the understanding and the practice of using what is the truth of yours now. So sentence number 2, paragraph 6 says, use them as they are given here. It is not necessary to return to the original statements, nor to apply the idea as was suggested then. So don't go back to reread the lessons. When we're doing a review, let's say on lesson that was number 1 in the before, you don't have to go back and read it. You can if you want to, but you're being invited to accept a new way of looking at the same thing. So sentence number 4, we are now emphasizing the relationship among the first 50 of the ideas that we have covered and the cohesiveness of the thought system to which they are leading you to. So 50 lessons are coming together so that you can see how they fit together, so that you can see how they can be applied together as a whole in your mind. So this foundation of these first 50 lessons is so crucial. So please make sure you do these review periods full out. Embrace this experience, because you're developing the foundation that is necessary to establish a very solid home base that you can always return to as the place that you know you are grounded in truth, where the peace that is in you abides, so that you can learn how to easily enter that space inside of you. Thanks a bunch, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.